Greetings from Greyhound Land. I'm Doc Elder, the voice of Eastern New Mexico University Greyhound football. It's my privilege to be here today in a KENW studio with Kelley Lee, the head coach of Greyhound football. We're going to be talking about 2020 signing day, but Coach, before we leave 2019 behind, congratulations on a great year.
Thank you, appreciate it. A lot of credit goes out to our coaching staff and our players, and especially our seniors that did a fantastic job winning 8 games, winning school's first ever postseason game in Division II era, winning the Heritage Bowl. So proud of those guys and look forward to watching them in their future career of life.
Well, Coach, the only problem is a lot of the guys that helped you win were guys that used up their eligibility, which means we've got a few vacancies, and that leads us here to signing day.
That's what signing day is all about, and I think we got some good ones. We addressed our needs and got a good mix of kids, offense and defense. It's big guys, some small guys, some fast guys. A lot of state champions in this class, a lot of state runners-up, a lot of team captains, leaders, and some wonderful GPAs, some honor students, just a bunch of great young men.
Well, Coach, thanks to the athletic communications staff here, we've got some graphics on each and every guy that signed a letter of intent with you.
Fantastic.
We have the images, and so let's cue them up on the screen, and please walk us through your signees.
Sure. First up, Alex FOLZ, a guy that we got here mid-year, transferred out of Minnesota Crookston. They dropped their football program. Alex played 6-man football in high school. He did a little bit of everything for Minnesota Crookston this year as a true freshman. He was their punter, punt returner, slot, receiver. He was a running back and played wildcat quarterback for him. So we think he'll be jack of all trades for us, and he'll be a running back in our offense.
Very good.
Next up, Blake BUCKELEW, fullback out of New Home, played in our system, a triple option system. So he's done the things we're asking him to do. Great fit for us. A local kid just down the road that we think can do some good things for us. Tight end, KEITHLEY out of Midland Christian, another guy from the area. Very versatile guy, good receiver, runs good routes, but we really like his physicality. Gets off the ball, gets after people. Two-way player in high school, but we see him as fitting as a tight end. And a guy we look to come in. We signed a couple tight ends this year, and we look for them to come in and compete for some playing time.
Yeah, because one of the tight ends you did lose was Tyler Lynch.
Yeah, and the only other one we have on the roster is Alexis Aguilar, who's a freshman and played as a true freshman last year. So we're looking to bring some guys to compete and solidify that spot up. Next up is a wide receiver out of California, Demetrius Simpson out of Corona Centennial, which is a storied program. We got Cameron Pitcher out of there a few years ago. Great program, great young man. Chose us over Dixie State, which is the school moving up to Division I. So we felt good that we won that recruiting battle and look forward to seeing him make some big plays for us. DEMONTRARIES LACY from Lubbock, Monterey. Tailback, really carried the load for the Plainsmen down there. Hard runner, got good speed, good vision, good center of gravity. Another one of these freshman running backs we think could come in and challenge for playing time. And he's a proven winner, and we look for good things out of him.
We've had some good running backs out of Lubbock, Texas.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. DEVON FREEMAN, running back, little slot running back out of Tularosa High School, played small school ball, had a good career. Super great kid, and really he's thrilled to be a Greyhound. We're excited to get him here and get him working. Wide receiver Diego Miranda played at Roswell Goddard High School. Great player for them. Did a lot of things for them there. Settled in kind of as a wide receiver at New Mexico Military for Joey Fortuner, and Chase Kaiser, former Greyhound, was the OC there. Can't say enough good things about him. Chase was a great player for us. Diego comes highly recommended, and we really think he's going to add a lot to our receiving corps. And obviously, we're looking for him to come in and play and contribute right away.
I thought I recognized the name a couple of years ago. I broadcast the Portales versus Goddard game.
Yeah, he did everything.
Kid could play.
He was a good player. Speaking of Goddard, kid Hunter BEENE, kid we offered early in the summer. Hunter unfortunately had injury, and he wasn't able to play most of his senior year, but we wanted to honor our scholarship and stay with him. And we think Hunter's still got a lot of good football ahead of him. He's hungry. He wants to get back on the field, and he's a physical guy. We look to project him at tight end. He did a lot at Goddard, but we think he'll fit as a tight end for us. Isaiah Tate was one of the mid-year transfers we got in. Is already on program. He's a running back out of San Diego Mesa. He's already working out. He's not a speed guy, but when you do agilities, he's just as fast as the fastest guy. You know, so he's one of those really quick guys that's got great change of direction. Was very productive for San Diego MESA, and we think he'll be a good fit for us. JADEN Harrington, very talented running back out of Florida. Coach Sims is a native of Florida, has got some connections, did a good job recruiting that. We got him out for a visit, or liked the plays. Played in a wing T style offense, triple option style, so we already see, I think his team played in the championship game. He reminds us of some of the really good running backs we've had in the past, a lot of speed. We're really excited to see him carry the football.
Yeah, he wears a good number in that graphic.
Yeah, yeah. Caden Merrill, tight end. We had him in camp last summer, came all the way out from Oklahoma to Portales, came to camp, been following him since then. Coach's kid, hard worker, good student, very physical. One of these other guys that's done a lot for his team. I mean, he's that third freshman tight end that we signed, that we're really looking at those guys to compete and add depth to that position for us. KAYON LACY out of Colorado, our second LACY we have running back. You'll recognize this, son of Antoine LACY.
I was just going to say.
Greyhound, great. It's kind of funny because I was a graduate assistant here coaching running backs, and Antoine used to bring KAYON to our meetings, and he couldn't have been more than 5-6 months old, and we would meet because he had to watch him all day till his wife got off work, and then he'd come to practice, so he couldn't make the early meetings. So KAYON's been a Greyhound since he was 6 months old. So his mom's also an alum, and so we, we're excited to see KAYON play, and we know if he's as good as his dad, he's going to be a great Greyhound. He's also related to Eddie LACY, a relative. So
wow,
he's got a lot of good
That's
genes,
pedigree,
but,
yes.
but KAYON's got some great film, and his film speaks for himself as well. KOONTZ, a wide receiver, came to us out of California. One of our graduate assistants, Max Silver, actually worked with him. Went back to Coach Silver, I think he was a freshman, coaching high school ball out there before he coached at Fullerton. So a guy that we kind of had a connection to, got him out, liked our place, and we're going to get him out there. And he caught over 70 balls last year out in California. So very productive receiver with a lot of speed. MARTAVIUS DILL, running back that we got out of HOLMES Community College. HOLMES Community College runs the flex bone, same offense we run. So we've seen him do the things that we want to see done, and he's got a lot of speed. And when we get the ball pitched to him, he's going to be deadly, and he's a good receiver too. So he can catch passes from that slot running back position. So
like Johnny Smith was.
Very similar to Johnny Smith, and we're hoping he fills those shoes, big shoes to fill. But that's what we're hoping, and we expect you to be calling his name a lot next year. Michael House, offensive lineman from Pueblo, Colorado. Kid that kind of fits our size, not as tall as a lot of linemen, but an all-state guy you put on his film, and he's one of the best players on the film all the time. And I think he got passed over because of his height, but in our offense, it's not a detriment because we're not pass blocking a lot. He's a great run blocker, and I think we really got a steal with this one. We found a great football player, just our kind of guy, and we think he'll do some good things. Parker Pulley, another big offensive lineman from the state champs, Cleveland, out in Rio Rancho, played for Heath Ridenauer, former Eastern alum. Parker was a devastating run blocker. I mean, he's a meat grader, and he's going to get in there and pave the way and grind it out. He'll pull and brings the load, so we think he can contribute a lot, brings a lot to our signing class. Quarterback, Seth Matley out of Kansas City North, coming to us from Missouri. One of these guys that's a kind of a system guy. He was an option quarterback, ran a lot of zone read, a lot of triple option out of the gun. So, but he fits our mold because he can also really throw it. Strong arm, 6'2", 200-pound guy. Kind of funny. He looks a lot like Patrick Mahomes. He's coming out of Kansas City. We hope he plays like him, and we got us a good one. But we're really excited about Seth. And one of the things I loved about Seth is Seth drove all the way out here with a friend from Kansas City, arose at 10 o'clock in the morning for his visit, and came to visit, and then he was fixing to come drive all the way back. And we said, no, you're here on an official visit. We're gonna get you a hotel room. You can rest up. But that's how hungry he was to see our program.
Says a lot.
I think he put that drive into the football field, and you're gonna see some good things. Sven Lunker, the other transfer we got out of Minnesota Crookston, when they dropped their program, they all needed a place to play. Another freshman that started for him. So we looked at him as a guy who's already started your college football, but still has 3 years of eligibility left. So Obviously, we've seen him against college competition. He fared well, and we're looking to see him develop in our offense and with Coach McGraw. Taj Broomfield, wide receiver out of San Diego Mesa. Taj was good friends with Isaiah Tate, who we signed at the break, and Isaiah had a lot of good things to say about us, and we were able to sign Taj. And Taj is a great guy. I mean, he really good receiving core at San Diego Mesa. He didn't have a ton of catches, but highly productive because he caught 7 touchdown passes.
Wow.
30 or so catches. So that's the kind of guy we like. Those guys that when they get the ball, they produce.
Kind of like Larry Baker Bruce
yeah,
a few
little
years
bit
ago.
like that. And that's what we're hoping to have out of Taj, and we're excited for him to get him on campus in the summer and see what he can do. Tariq Taylor, a kid that actually saw in camp up in Alaska a few years ago. Recruited him a little bit, but he ended up at Fullerton Junior College. Kept in touch with him, and we were able to bring him over. He got here at the break, and he's strong now. He looks good in the weight room, and we may end up playing him at some slot running back because I think he's going to be a really physical kid, but he's also got the potential to play at wide receiver, versatile kid. We think he can do a lot. Eulolio Samatoa, California, OL, DL. We got him listed in OL. He's pretty good DL too. We'll see where he fits, but great motor guy, physical as heck, plays rugby, so he moves well for a big man, and I think we really got a steal with him. Victor Bolaños goes by Vic, out of Roswell, played for Jeff Lynn down there, another former Greyhound coach, and he was on the state championship team. Then he went to New Mexico military, and we were able to get him out of there, and just another one of those physical, strong run blockers that'll fit well in our scheme. Local guy, all the people in Portales will know, Romaya Basachi, probably one of our best signs in the signing class, in my opinion. You know, when you get to watch a kid over and over and over, you really learn a lot about him. And I love the way he plays. We're gonna play him on the offensive side, probably in that fullback position. He's a big kid, runs physical, but he's got enough speed to take it the distance if he breaks it. And we're expecting big things out of him. And the one thing about him is, you know, being local, I've had a lot of interaction with him, and my impression, he's a great kid. But every single person that comes in contact, can't say enough good things about what kind of person, human being Romaya is. So,
and on a personal level, he was actually one of my students. He took my Eastern New Mexico University history class dual enrollment, so I can vouch for him too.
Yeah, heck of a kid, heck of a student athlete, and we're excited about him. Oh, Bo Burns comes to us undefeated school, won a state championship. He was the linebacker, kind of the leader. I mean, this kid's intelligent. He's got a 4.0 GPA and a great test score and a great football player. We're really excited that we were able to get him up from Houston out this way.
Yeah.
Brandon HENICKE, he did everything for his team. I mean, he ran the ball, he played linebacker, and we project him as a linebacker, but I like those linebackers that were running backs in high school, because they usually know where the holes are going to be.
Yes.
They know how to fit them, and so we want to develop him as a linebacker, and you'll see that in our class. You know, our need we have 4 linebackers on campus right now, and 3 of them are going to graduate after this season. So we knew in this class we needed to get some young linebackers, so we signed quite a few, and we're excited about this group. Cage Jones, kicker punter out of Friendship High School over in Lubbock. Played for Coach Roboto over there, former Eastern head coach, and a great punter and a really fantastic kickoff guy. Puts in the end zone almost every time. Handles the field goal duties, so multi-task. We lost a heck of a kicker with Tyler Vargas, the guy that did both. So we signed a couple, and they're going to come in and compete. But we're excited about getting Gage over here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Tyler Vargas, one of the impact players that you absolutely had to find a replacement for.
Yes, sir. Caden Johnson out of Amarillo High, played for Chad Dunham. Coach Cavalier, former Greyhound greats over there, is the defensive coordinator. And Caden's a guy that we think might be able to come in and compete for time. We're able to sign 2 corners out of Amarillo High, both super talented. We think Caden has got a lot of skills that we look to develop. Chase Phillips out of Centennial Burleson, same place Mason Richards came from, defensive back. I think that had a lot to do with them choosing us. I think they might be best friends, but that's our benefit. He can kind of a hybrid, play that outside linebacker, strong safety, nickel type back. Wants to be near the box because he's really physical, and I think we got us a really good on the Chase. Also out of Centennial Burleson, another defensive lineman. KRIS Hilliard coming to us, another defensive end, just like Mason came in here, led the conference in sacks. We think KRIS is a guy who can come in and challenge for playing time. And I think those two are really good pickups for us, and we're excited about KRIS. And I know Coach Walton and Coach Silver are excited about developing that.
Well, if they're half as good as Mason, they'll be good players.
We did good. Colton Orr, free safety, played offense as well. Was a good offensive player, but we really saw on his tape, we really watched him run the alley a few times and run the alley well. And I know Coach Walton's super excited about Colton and really thinks he's a guy that could be maybe our next great free safety down the road. So we want to get him up here, get him working, and hope that comes to fruition.
Yeah, and he's got good size for that position.
Yeah, he does. He does. Colton Madison, linebacker out of state champs, Rio Rancho, Cleveland High School, played for Coach Ridenauer, another one. Coach Kilmer, who used to be at Clovis, and Coach Ridenauer said this was his best linebacking core he's had at Cleveland. They've had some good ones, so Colton was a part of that, and I think he's going to be a great Greyhound. Other kicker, punter, we got out of Lubbock Coronado, Cooper Hamilton. What I like about Cooper on the kicking is kicked off the ground already, you know what I mean? So, he's done his kickoffs, but he kicked several long 40-yard field goals. Was almost perfect on his PATs. They're off the ground, so that helps you in that transition,
yeah.
And so he's another guy that's going to come in here and compete. We're thrilled to have him. Decry Richard out of Beaumont, very talented corner. One of these guys that we had, and then we thought maybe we were going to lose him there at the last minute. He had a lot of options. He ended up going and committing with us as one of those that definitely, when the paper came in on Wednesday, there was some high fives going on in our office. But a guy that we think is super talented, has a lot of skills, probably comes in, coached really well, ready to play early in his career. So exciting to see his development. Ernest Brewer, a guy who hasn't played in a couple years, had a great career over at Prairie View A&M. Actually led Division I AA in kick blocks during his time there. Grad transfer, had a year left, and he could go anywhere and wanted to play it. Wanted to play that last year. Started contacting us, and we went through the recruiting process. He's going to be a defensive back for us, a safety, but we're sure going to let him try to block some kicks too.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But I think there's a lot of things. He goes by Nick, so I think there's a lot of things Nick can do for us. Originally out of Allen, Texas, but thrilled to get him here as well. Esteban Lowry out of Centennial Las Cruces, played for Coach Ocampo over there. And he's a guy who played kind of outside linebacker in high school, but we really think that he's going to move and get his hand out and play defense. And we really felt like he was at his best when he's blitzing, getting after the quarterback. So we want to let him do that. He's got a great frame to put on weight. I think he's one of the steals in this class.
Yeah.
Evan Barboza, another defensive end that has a great frame, coming to us from just down the road at Lubbock Friendship High School and right outside of Lubbock. And we think he's got a lot of upside. And he's just kind of starting to scratch the surface of his playing ability. So we look forward to seeing that blossom.
You do a good job of coaching people up, as the expression
Well,
goes.
we got some good coaches, Coach. I got some good guys, and they do a heck of a job. I try to stay out of the way. Evan Newkirk, also out of Amarillo High, another corner, both him and Caden did a good job there and played well for Coach Dunham. Evan's a little bit bigger, 5'11", long arm, rangy corner, match up against some of those tall receivers we get in the LSC. So
we have a few, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few, and Devon Conyers really did a great job for us this year.
Yep.
In that role as a bigger corner. Of course, he's graduating, so maybe Evan could fill in those shoes. But Evan's a fun young man and a good young man, and we're excited to bring him over. Isaiah Rogers comes to us from Santa Barbara Junior College, another one of our mid-year transfers, so he's already here and looking to fill immediate roles, working hard, looks to be a pretty fast kid. Corner cover skills, physical enough to play some safety if needed, but we're going to start him off out there corner and see if we can get it done out there. And a great young man, already bought into our program and doing great things. Jacob Eduardis actually got a call from Westwood, another former alum, coached at Zazel last year, moved on to Snyder and said, hey, there was a linebacker at my old school that you guys need to look at. Got in touch with us, and she's very talented. 6'4" kid, great frame, and he can run. And we think he might be another one of those really big steals.
Wow. And if he's got Westwood's backing, the
that's
kid
right.
can play.
I mean, you would see there's a common thing of the Greyhound alums reaching out to us and helping us out. We appreciate that. That allows us to expand our recruiting areas.
Absolutely.
And deepen our class. Gene Bazile coming to us from northeastern Oklahoma out of the MIAA. Guy that is transferring, and a proven guy at Division II, was an all-conference player in the MIAA, which is, along with the Lone Star, probably the best Division II football conferences.
Yep.
So he's a guy that's proven, the all-conference caliber player. Again, we got him here at mid-year, so he's already here, working hard. A yes sir, no sir kid. Great grades coming in, and really excited about adding him to our defensive backfield. Jordan Francis was another one of our transfers coming in at break from Santa Barbara, and he'll be a safety for us. Taller kid, 6'1", 6'2", 185, 190 pounds, strong in the weight room. You already got a chance to look at him. Great kid. Like I said, we're really happy with our mid-year group. They've really come in and fit in well, working hard. So really excited to get into spring ball and get to see them with the pads on it. And we're looking for big things out of Jordan.
You bet.
Justin Brewer, linebacker, coming to us out of California. 6'1", 220-pounder. Good size for a freshman linebacker. Played in a good league, played good football against good competition. And like I said, I think we really did a good job in this class is getting some really talented freshman linebackers. And Justin's one of those guys. And a few of those guys are going to challenge playing time this year and play on special teams. But we'll be able to redshirt some of them. But we feel like moving forward, that position's in good hands with this group. Justin's one of those guys.
Sounds like a good nucleus.
Justin Patton, right out of Portales here, really came into his own his senior year. You know what I mean? Wasn't a guy that was on our radar as a junior, but Coach Ramirez reached out to us, said, "Hey, Justin's playing well. You want to take a look at him?" Physical kid. He did a lot of different things. We think he'll kind of be a defensive end or an outside linebacker type guy, depending on the package. But what we like about Justin is his physicality. He's got a great frame that weight, and another one of those super good kids that you hear nothing but great things about.
I got to tell you a quick story about him. The coaches show that I host that you're a regular on, I actually had him on as a guest, and I asked him, "Well, Justin, what do you like about football?" And he said, "I get to hit people."
Yeah, and it shows on his film. He's a physical kid. Yes, sir. Lino Adenot, kid out of Florida that we're really excited about, played at Jacksonville University, another program that unfortunately dropped their football. And so we did a good job, I thought, our coaching staff at reaching out to those guys, and another tall corner. I think he's listed 5'8", but I think he's closer to about 5'10". He's got long arms. A lot of speed. His high school film's really good. The coaches at Jacksonville were really high on him. So we think he's going to add a talent level to our corner position and help our defensive backfield do a really good job this season. Martin Nolan out of Katy, Texas, program that played for the state championship. Played for Jay Jensen over there. Jay,
yes.
Another former Greyhound. We got a couple people from Katy, Taylor and Martin's excited kid. Came out for a visit. Just one of those kids you already gravitate. Great personality, great kid. Was all in, and I can't wait to get him here. And I think he's gonna be a great Greyhound. Michael Molio, Polynesian kid out of Arizona. Met his coach at an option clinic. They were option guys, an option fullback / linebacker. But we really like him on the defensive side of the ball. Heavy hitter. Could play fullback if he needed to come over, but Michael, we got him out. We had him out on a nice day. He felt like he was at home in Arizona, and so we're going to try to make him feel at home and look forward to watching his career develop here. Miles Keith down the road out of Abernathy, who had a fantastic season. Local kid, played O-line, defensive line. We're going to start him off as a defensive lineman and maybe an end. And he's got a great frame. He maybe end up a defensive tackle before it's all said and done. But big kid that can move, physical, great kid. Coaches can't say enough about him. Other coaches in the area couldn't say enough about him. And he had a lot of offers, a lot of opportunities, and he decided to be a Greyhound, and we're excited about that.
Glad we kept him in the area.
Noah Wilson coming out of La Cueva High School. Really good linebacker, first team All-State guy, one of the best players in the state of New Mexico this year, and just another one of those linebackers that we're thrilled to have. He could, a guy that possibly could challenged for playing time early or on special teams. So he had a lot of opportunities, and a guy that we were able to keep in state, and that's always a good thing.
He's size-wise, he kind of reminds me of Noah Schweitzer.
A little bit, and that's kind of what his tape looks a little bit like. That's kind of funny to say that because that's what he kind of reminded us. Patrick Talbot, guy that another guy out of Katy Taylor, we got on him a little late, but heck of a punter for them. Averaged almost 40 yards a punt, and we feel like now we got a couple guys that are. We got some guys that are kicker punters, a guy that may be more of a kicker, and a guy that may be more of a punter. And we're going to have some good competition with them, and we should come out in good spot. He's filling it in for Tyler Vargas. So got on Patrick late and able to get him signed up. Look forward to seeing him in that green and silver. Paul Smith signed him as basically an athlete. Potentially could be a corner. He's a little small, but a guy that we think could be in our nickel package in the slot. Cover, lock people down. He's that kind of athlete, or be a slot running back. He did a lot of good things on them offensively and in the return game, and just one of those guys you just can't pass on. Out of tickets in Texas, and he did a lot for his team. Extremely physical for his size, and he's another one of those kids that people saw that we got and said, "I'm glad someone's taking a chance on that kid." A lot of people passed on him because of his size, but they say he's a physical kid, and he was one of the best players in our league, even though there's a lot of other guys going to Division I. So he comes highly recommended, and we're fortunate to get him. Romeo Jones, corner that's coming to us from Jaden University, transfer. Another one of the guys we got in at the break of our mid-year. Coach Sims actually coached at Jaden for a while, so they had some previous relationship, and so I think Coach Sims being here is a lot of why we're able to get Romel. But tall 6'2" corner. Again, like we say, there's a demand for that because through the years, a lot of times we've had great coverage and got out jumped. You know what I mean? So, being able to match up with some of those guys is going to help us out, and we think Romel will do that. Shiloh Logan's a guy that we actually recruited last year, and he got here at the break. We ended up gray shirt him, and so he's been a Greyhound already for us, kind of in heart. And he joined us here, at the midterm and had some time to put on a little weight. He's working hard, comes from a great family, and just a wonderful kid. And we're glad we were able to get him, and now he's fully plugged in and officially a Greyhound, and we're excited about that. That might be all of them, oh, no, here we go. It's just a little late. Ty Wilson, I should remember. Ty's out of Rio Rancho High School, played for the state championship, also cousins of Noah.
Okay.
So us being able to sign both of them might have had a lot to do with them coming here, but it's kind of funny because they're in the same town and they've played against each other. Now they're moving to a different town and going to play with each other.
That's right.
Maybe even side by side, both linebackers. But Noah's a guy or Ty's a guy that comes highly recommended. His high school coach loved him. His assistant coach loved him. Worked hard, very physical kid. Did a lot of things at Rio Rancho besides play linebacker, and he's a guy who we think has got a lot of heart, just the kind of guy we want as a Greyhound, and another one of those great New Mexico guys we got on board. Just down the road out of a small school signee, Will Haley did everything for Elida, and they had a great year, played for the state championship. We're gonna sign him as an athlete, probably look at him as a slot running back. He did a good job carrying the ball. Physical kid will hit you. He's good, plays some defense. But we've had some luck with some of the small school kids in the area. Maybe he'll be our next Wyatt Strand, Seth Bailey type kid.
Absolutely.
We think a lot of him, and we're glad we were able to get Will convinced to come the short drive down the road to Eastern.
Well, Coach, obviously one thing that we're curious about is spring ball. When is spring ball going to start, and when is your spring scrimmage going to take place?
Yeah, our spring breaks a little bit earlier this year on the calendar. It fell, and a lot of times we sandwich our spring ball in between because we like to have that time to heal up of injuries, and we weren't quite able to do that year. We thought we would be pushing it too far. It would be almost like signing day, and we'd start tomorrow. So we're going to wait till after spring break and get going in March. So we'll be going through mid-March to mid-April. I think our spring game is it's Friday, April. I don't know the date, 17th, 14th, whatever that Friday in mid-April falls, and when that'll be our green and silver game. I think it falls in conjunction with the Super Family Weekend this year, so that, you know, there'll be a lot of people on campus, and we'll have our spring game that Friday night lights atmosphere. Several other scrimmages along the way, but we're basically going to kind of a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday schedule along the way, and it'll be exciting because we got to see some new kids, some young kids that we get to see under fire. Want to see our new transfers in, and when you're gonna have a lot of new faces, it makes spring ball exciting because you get to see what you have and what kids can do, and you're really evaluating not only what they can do in their depth chart, but what you're going to be able to do next fall. So it's one of those springs you look forward to.
And in terms of next fall, obviously the season is going to get off to a different start because we played home and homes against a couple of schools, sir. And now we've got another set of schools.
Yeah, and I'm glad to announce that we were able to. It took a lot of effort by a lot of people. Dr. Elwell helped on this. We're able to get New Mexico Highlands back on the schedule, which only makes sense being so close. And so we're going to open with them at Greyhound Stadium, and then we go to Adams State, who we played before, and that's a good non-conference game, both in region D2 games, which are what you want. And then later in the we still got Tarleton State on our schedule, even though they're moving up Division I. They'll have to compensate us a little bit as a money game, but opportunity for our kids to play in a Division I football game. And then later in the year, Azusa Pacific's our other non-conference game, and they're coming out to us. We'll probably have to fly out to Los Angeles and play them the next year. But those are our non-conference, and then the conference games are just flipped from where they were last year. So not necessarily the same order, but whether it's home or away.
Flying to Ontario, it's only 25 miles.
There you
I
go.
know because I used to live out there. So.
That's right. And I think we have 6 home games, you know what I mean? So that's exciting.
Well, Coach, what is obviously just a remarkable year that you guys had in 2019, as we talked about earlier in the program. Yeah. If there's one characteristic that you hope you can carry forward from that successful year into 2020, what do you hope that you can bring forth from that squad?
The grit and resiliency those kids showed. You know, we got off to a really good start last year, beat some really good teams, and we were rolling along pretty well. I think we're sitting at 5-2, and we lost a couple games that maybe we didn't feel like we should have lost. And we didn't play well in those games, and give the other teams credit. West Texas and UTPB, they played good. And but, you know, a lot of teams could have fallen apart at that point. We're sitting at 5-4, and our kids, you know, we challenged them and they responded, and we ended with 3 really big wins over 3 really good football teams. Because that was the thing, we were 5-4 with 3 tough games ahead of us. You know what I mean? And 2 of them on the road, and we were able to knock off Angela, basically knock them out of the playoffs, nationally ranked team in overtime. Go on the road at Western Oregon, beat a conference champ, which got us into a bowl game, and then play a good Southern Arkansas team and beat them in the bowl game for our first postseason win. So I think just the grit and the tenacity and the willingness to stay the course and keep fighting through, you know, I hope that's something. I think our seniors did that, and I hope that's something our younger guys learned from them, and that we'll carry over into this year's team.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the success you did have. Congratulations on the recruiting class you got.
Thank you.
Best of luck during spring ball and your fall practice, and can't wait to see you guys play against New Mexico Highlands.
Appreciate it, Doc. Thank you for always supporting us and being there. I know the families back home appreciate it.
Well, that is going to wrap up our 2020 Eastern New Mexico University Greyhound Signing Day webcast. I'd like to thank Kelley Lee for being here in the studio with me. Here at the studio, we had Alan Crawford and Jordan Honeycutt from KNW. Ryan Shoemaker, of course, instrumental in getting all the graphics for the broadcast. So, for all those aforementioned people, this is Doc Elder saying, so long.